once again, a big thank you to everyone on the panel. We're almost towards there. We've had a lot of people discuss a lot of things in the sanitation value chain, and the question then is, what next? And to help us sort of answer that and provide us with some concrete action, I'd like to call on our partner, the India Sanitation Coalition, and from there, Rita Roy Chowdhury.
Thank you, Dasra, for this opportunity. And thank you all for being such a wonderful audience to stay up this late. It's always tough to have a presentation towards the end of the day. I think throughout the day, we've heard all of you say that, a few words that have been repeated through the day, and that really kind of sets the tone for what the coalition is all about. We've heard through the day that, there is a need for partnerships, collaborations, scalability, sustainability, replicability, the need to institutionalize collaboration, the need to bring together the government, corporates, other stakeholders onto a common platform, and basically to create more awareness, to bring good practices to the fore. We've heard all this through the day, and we keep hearing about this in different forums in the context of sanitation. And that is really where the India Sanitation Coalition comes in. And what everyone has said today really endorses pretty much the idea of the coalition and what we are all about. So the India Sanitation Coalition was launched last year in June by the Minister of Drinking Water and Sanitation. Ms. Naina Lal Kidwai serves as the chair, and Fiki serves as the secretariat for the coalition. Our mandate really is to enable and support an ecosystem for sustainable sanitation. And this is what we've been hearing through the day, how to have a holistic strategy towards sanitation and develop a holistic, have an ecosystem that supports sustainable sanitation. And this is what the coalition is really pushing forward. So our mission is really to be an aggregator of knowledge and networks, and to really create that nationwide outreach through the coalition's partners, through their partners and everybody in this space, and to bring organizations and institutions together on a common platform to support each other. It was really a great honor for us to receive the tremendous support that we did when we started out from the various luminaries, and starting from the Honorable Prime Minister himself to the big icons of the corporate sector, the development organizations, financial institutions, multilateral and bilateral organizations. So it was really the vision of ISC, the India Sanitation Coalition, really turned out to be a collective vision. And through these endorsements, what we saw is that there is a collective sense of the need to collaborate, the need to bring stakeholders together, and also the need to help government with a collective presence. So that's where I think everybody endorsed the idea of the coalition. How do we see our role, really? We recognize that there are strong players on the ground who are implementing, who have vast experience and insights and practical knowledge to share, and they really carry the mantle of direct delivery. The coalition is not an implementer. The coalition sees itself as a body that will galvanize people, that will bring together stakeholders onto a common platform to talk to each other, as someone who will catalyze partnerships, catalyze ideas and projects to come together, and also to really empower people through informed decision making, through dissemination of the right kind of knowledge, through best practices, through creating that awareness. So we see ourselves as a galvanizer, a catalyzer, as a body that will empower the stakeholders. And at the end of the day, really try and facilitate the creation of an ecosystem around sanitation. So, also support the facilitation of a marketplace around sanitation, whether it's products, technologies, or services. And so it's really about, the stakeholders, bringing stakeholders together, finding the solutions, and creating a platform for sharing. And also that, we see ourselves as an inclusive. We are not one organization or just 10 organizations or 40 organizations. We are an inclusive platform. It's open to all players who are in the sanitation space today to come together and really work together to share their information and knowledge and forge partnerships. The coalition's philosophy is really embodied, and we heard this in the morning. It's embodied in the whole philosophy of build, use, maintain, and treat. So from the advocacy around build, we want to really push the advocacy around build, use, maintain, and treat. And that is what is actually, that underlies the approach that the coalition takes in its realm of operations. The coalition's work is being pushed forward under 4 pillars. So we have advocacy, branding, and communication. And why are these 4 pillars there that we have chosen? Why do we choose to do these 4 as the central, the core of the coalition's work? Advocacy, because we believe that sustainable sanitation really needs to be targeted towards all stakeholders. And we heard about that in the morning as well, to really create the ethos, the demand, the marketplace, the sanitation, the policy interventions around sanitation. So we need a lot of advocacy on the ground as well as at the policy level. So that's one of the core pillars of the coalition. The second is identification and dissemination of best practices, and this is what many people have also, alluded to today. That there is a need to empower stakeholders with what's going on around them, what are the good practices, and how can we learn from that. The third is, of course, central to our work is engagement with the state and central governments, because we believe that all stakeholders need to come together as a collective presence to support the government in its mission. And finally, creating partnerships and collaborations is also absolutely at the core of the coalition's work, because we want to build on the strengths that organizations can provide to each other to achieve scalable, sustainable sanitation. The ISC is the 4 pillars that I talked about is basically housed under 4 task forces, and these are the organizations that are helping us to lead the various task forces. But they are not all. We have several organizations in each of these task forces that are helping to really drive the mandate of the coalition. What have been really our initiatives so far? So we're building on certain building blocks, foundations to support the coalition's sustainable approach in the long term. So knowledge creation is a very important part. We have started out with stakeholder mapping. We are doing IEC and BCC mapping. We're also, creating a repository of best practices in this space. So knowledge creation is really fundamental to what the coalition does. Communication, focusing a lot around advocacy and our message around sanitation, the messages that we want to propagate as the coalition, and that really links with the philosophy of build, use, maintain, and treat. The third is, communication as well as advocacy. The fourth is catalyzing partnerships, as I said, bringing different organizations together, whether it's corporates who are seeking technical partners, implementing partners on the ground, or other implementing partners seeking funding partners to support their projects. Fifth is exposure to experts and international case studies. The coalition has entered into a partnership with the Sustainable Sanitation Alliance, SUSANA, and the idea is really to create a platform for dissemination of information and to provide exposure to expertise in this field. We're also building thought leadership around sustainable sanitation through various messaging that we do, and also engaging with the media. Collaborative frameworks with government is what I mentioned before, and one of the key initiatives that the coalition has launched is to work with the state government of Rajasthan, where we have a holistic strategy. We are working across 5 verticals: rural, urban, skills, schools, and Savai Madhopur with the government of Rajasthan. And also we are building a dialogue with various stakeholders, to begin with a dialogue with the financial institutions on things like priority sector lending. And lastly, also capacity building workshops. So, okay, I think I missed one slide. The last point I wanted to say is that we are a growing coalition. We started with about 45 organizations who came together to form the coalition. And we are today more than 100 organizations who are engaging with us. We are reaching out to to everyone. This is an inclusive platform, and we really urge all of you to come forward and join the coalition. So thank you very much. And before I end, I'd like to call my colleague, Mr. JVG Krishnamurthy, who's just joined us as the program leader in the coalition, to really quickly run through 6 proposals that the coalition wanted to table here from some of its partners. Just 2 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. I'll just take not more than 5 minutes, maybe, so I'll make it fast, end of the day. We have proposals from these organizations, which you see on the screen, 6 of them in total. So the first one is from Observing Eye, Ecotech. Yeah, you can use it. So all the proposals, I made them into 2 slides, very short, so you can have a look at how it is. Brief description. So this project talks about mobile toilet vans with attached sewage treatment systems, and they're working with a local partner called CEL, and the Municipal Corporation of Ludhiana is also involved as a partner. So duration and scope, if you see, so 12 numbers of 8-seater mobile toilet vans. So that's the overall project. So it's a small project, and the municipal corporation will pay the amount per toilet as per Swachh Bharat mission, and shortfall from alternative sources of funding, basically. So they're looking for that funding. So that's where we come into picture. Strategies. So the municipal corporation will provide space, licenses, free water, all the stuff, basically. And the cost is approximately coming to their planning for 12 such vehicles, so 96 lakhs. Location is going to be Punjab. So the next one is Plan India. So here again, we are talking about, again, sanitation, of course, sustainable sanitation through participatory process. So that's the highlight. So community is going to be in the driver's seat. So they're calling it as a village water safety security model. So implementation through community participation and convergence of government schemes. Stakeholders are going to be community, CBOs, Gram Panchayat, everything basically, parent-teacher associations, agencies, schools, etc., etc. Pilot is going to be for 1 year. So again, we are talking about 100 Gram Panchayats, with each Gram Panchayat having 5 villages. So we're talking about around 500 villages. Core strategies, again, BCC, on-hand hygiene and washing, ODF tools. So here the budget is slightly big, if you look at 3 crores for 1 year. They're working in a number of states, as you can see, Rajasthan, Jharkhand, Bihar, Odisha, etc. And the next project is on Soft and Safe. So that's the title they've given to their project, sanitation program for, again, behavioral change in schools. Stakeholders are going to be the CSR partners, students and community, targeting students in grades 5 to 12, and of course adults in the community. core strategy here, they are having 9 modules using technology to get across to students in schools using ICT and e-learning and self-paced modules, basically. So that's the idea. So here, again, we are talking about 28 lakhs as a budget. So that's the next slide. Sorry, I didn't change it. Then the next one is MART. So again, they have a comprehensive proposal. Sorry. So you can have a look at that. So here, the partners are going to be WaterAid, local NGOs, social entrepreneurs, and community. 2 years, 2 blocks completely they're going to develop. They're going to do sanitation mapping, capacity building, toilet design and development, slightly bigger. So location is going to be Savai Madhopur. The budget is 289 lakhs approximately. WaterAid, so they're having 2 small projects. They're calling it WINS, Wash in Schools. So school wash program. Partners are going to be students and community and partner NGOs. Strategies, we're talking about demonstrating models as evidence for policy advocacy, then redressing inequalities, hygiene education. So budget is 75 lakhs for 1 year of intervention in the entire district. Location, you can see the different states. Sorry. Yeah, this is the last one. They have a 1-pager on Rajasthan, challenges and opportunities to develop 4 districts in Rajasthan through intensive activities and give full support for WASH activities, basically. So for 5 years. So going to talk about the whole entire WASH package, and the budget is, you can see it's pretty big. Year 1 is going into 70 rupees. Again, location is Rajasthan. So what I have here is a summary sheet, all 6 projects in one kind of a table. So that's available with my colleague Medhavi there. So anybody who's interested is most welcome to go over and pick up the sheet, and we would be very happy to facilitate if you want to connect with these people and discuss these proposals. Thank you very much.